It is time to learn how to make basic geometrical shapes using some tools. Let's begin with constructing a circle using a compass. To make a circle, a certain radius will be given. Let us take that radius to be 4 centimeters. To make a circle with the radius 4 centimeter, we need to open our compass for 4 centimeter. For that, place the compass on the ruler in such a way that pointer is placed at 4 centimeter mark and the pencil at the other end touches 0 centimeters mark. So this way, the compass will be open for 4 centimeters. Now, firmly place the pointer or needle of your compass on the paper. With the other end, after making the pencil touch the paper, turn it around 360 degrees in such a way that the pencil leaves behind the trail as it moves with the compass. After the circle is complete, lift the pointer of the compass and mark the point on which the pointer was resting as the center of the circle. Using a ruler, now you can draw a straight line from the center to any point on the circumference of the circle. This will be the radius of the circle, which in this case is 4 centimeters. Let us see how we can make a line segment with the help of a compass. A line segment is a measurable part of a line with two definite endpoints. To draw a line segment measuring 5 centimeters, draw a long line L and mark a point X on it. Place the compass on a ruler and then widen it to measure 5 centimeters. Place the pointer of the compass on the point X. Rotate the other arm with the pencil to make a mark on the given line. Mark this point as Y. Here we have a line segment XY which is 5 centimeters long. Copy of a line segment. Suppose a 5.5 centimeters line segment PQ is given and we have to create another line segment of the same measure. How can we do that without using a ruler? Let's see. Use the compass to measure PQ by coinciding both the points of the compass with the endpoints P and Q. Draw a long line L and mark a point R on it. Place the pointer of the compass at point R. Rotate the other arm with the pencil to mark the point S. Now we have a line segment RS which measures the same as PQ and hence a copy of the line segment PQ. Construction of perpendicular to a line. A perpendicular to a line cuts it at right angles. It can be drawn in two ways, through a point on the line or through a point outside the line. First, let's construct a perpendicular through a point on the line. Draw a long line M. Mark a point A on it. With point A as center and any radius, draw an arc to cut line M at 2 points C and D. Now, with the radius greater than CA and C as center, draw an arc above the first arc. With the same radius and D as center this time, draw another arc above the first arc. Mark the points of intersection of these two arcs as E. Join point E to point A with the help of a ruler. This line EA is perpendicular to the line M. Now let's draw a perpendicular through a point outside the line. Draw a long line M. Mark a point A above it. With point A as the center and any radius, draw an arc to cut the line M at 2 points C and D. Now, with the radius greater than half of CD and C as the center, draw an arc below the first arc. With the same radius and D as the center this time, draw another arc above the first arc. Mark the point of intersection of these two arcs as E. Join point E to point A with the help of a ruler. This line AE is perpendicular to the line M. Construction of perpendicular bisector of line segment. A perpendicular bisector of a line segment intersects at right angles and divides it into two equal halves. To construct a perpendicular bisector of line segment, draw a line XY. Measure on the compass a radius more than half the length of XY. With point X as the center, draw an arc above and below the line segment. With point Y as the center, draw another arc above and below the line segment. Mark the points of intersection of arcs as A and B. Label the point where AB meets XY as O. Measure OX and OY with the divider. You will see that OX is equal to OY. Measure angles XOA and YOA. Both the angles will be equal to 90 degrees. Therefore, AB is the perpendicular bisector of XY. Construction of bisector of angle. The bisector of an angle divides the angle into two equal halves. Let us see how we can construct an angle bisector. Draw angle AOB. With O as the center, draw an arc to cut the two rays OA and OB of the angle at P and Q respectively. Now, measure a radius greater than half the length of PQ. With the measured radius and P as the center, draw an arc above PQ. With the same radius and Q as the center now, draw another arc above PQ. Mark the points of intersection of arcs as C. Join O and C. Measure angles AOC and COB. You will find that angle AOC is equal to angle COB. Therefore, OC is the bisector of the angle AOB. Now let us see how we can make a copy of an angle whose measure is unknown. Angle AOB is given. With O as center and any radius, draw an arc to cut the two rays OA and OB of the angle at P and Q respectively. Now, draw a long line L and mark a point S on it. With OQ as radius and S as center, draw an arc to cut the line L at T. With PQ as radius and T as center, draw an arc to cut the previous arc at R. Now join R to S. Angle RST will be equal to angle AOB. So we have constructed the copy of angle AOB as angle RST. Construction of angles. Let us now construct some angles: 30 degrees, 60 degrees and 120 degrees. Let's start with the construction of 30 degrees angle. Draw a long line M. Mark a point Q on it. With any radius and Q as center, draw an arc to cut the line M at point R. With the same radius and R as center, draw an arc to cut the line M at Q. Mark the points of intersection of arcs as P. Join P to Q. Bisect the angle and mark the points of bisection as S. Measure angle PQS and angle SQR. Both are 30 degrees. To construct 60-degree angle, draw a long line M. Mark a point Q on it. With any radius and Q as center, draw an arc to cut the line M at point R. With the same radius and R as the center, draw an arc to cut the line M at Q. Mark the points of intersection of arcs as P. Join P to Q. Angle PQR is formed, which is equal to 60 degrees. To construct 120-degree angle, draw a long line M. Mark a point Q on it. With any radius and Q as center, draw an arc to cut the line M at point R. With the same radius and R as the center, draw an arc to cut the first arc at S. With the same radius and S as the center, draw an arc to cut the first arc at P. Join P to Q. Angle PQR is formed, which is 120 degrees.